Tracy Humphrey. Today we have 2 nonprofit organizations and 2 book authors, as well as 2 anchors from our station. As usual, we have extras at our social media sites, facebook.com/BaySunday and youtube.com/BaySunday. 2 Sprint phones, an Android phone, the Sanyo Cio, ooh, that's kind of cool looking, and the BlackBerry Style. And unlike most BlackBerries, this one is a flip phone. You can also pitch us at cbssanfrancisco.com. First, representing Marin Kids, we're joined by CBS 5's Dana King. Also the Vice Chair of the First 5 Marin Children and Families Commission, Cio Hernandez, and San Rafael City Council member Marc Levine. Thank you guys for being here. I'm so happy you're here because you take so much pressure off me. And this is a cause that is near and dear to your heart. So do you just want to clue us in a little bit about what's going on and the new venture that you guys are going to be undertaking?
Well, I want to start with the concept that reaches way, way back into another culture. The Maasai warriors, when they greet one another, they say to each other, "How are the children doing?" And so what that does is it sets up their community prioritizing the children first. And that's exactly what we want to do with Marin Kids. We want policymakers, we want business owners, we want everyone in the community to think of how are the children doing first whenever they have something that needs to occur in the county of Marin.
Okay, so how did this begin? How did it start, and what's the reception been like?
The story is a little bit funny. It came from Dr. Bob Ross from the California Endowment, who came to a First 5 breakfast and said, "What am I doing here? In Marin, you should be able to have a vision for children." And so Dr. Larry Meredith, our Director of Health and Human Services, stood up and said, "Dr. Ross, we take on that challenge, and in 3 years, we will have a vision for Marin Kids." And so that's where we were born. So now we have moved to a place where we can imagine that all children, regardless of where they're from, can be happy and healthy, and where our communities can feel like we're the parents of all of our kids in the community, not just the ones in need.
Okay, so Marc Levine, I got some pressure on you here. How you doing?
Doing all right. It was a very challenging time to be involved in local government, but having an emphasis on an entire community, particularly children, is helpful for thinking and imagining about our community in the future when we're talking about public housing, education, transportation. Having children in mind when we're making those plans at this stage will benefit the entire community as we look down the road to the future 10 or 20 years out.
We want to focus on a couple of areas, and I want to piggyback on what Cio mentioned, that when you think of Marin, you think, oh, everybody there is fine, there are no problems.
That's what you think.
But you know what? While the majority of our kids are doing well, there are quite a few kids that would surprise you who are not. For example, almost 20% of kids in Marin are at an unhealthy weight. And we know that when you're young and you don't make proper food choices, that follows you through life, and it creates issues later in life, diseases. Almost 50% of kids in high school don't take college prep courses. And you think, well, what is that going to do for your life? Well, you're not going to get into the best school that you can possibly get into. We have issues of mental health, kids unsupervised. 63% of our kids are unsupervised after school. And we know, policymakers know that when kids are unsupervised, they get in trouble because they're bored. So we're talking about healthcare issues, the educational gap for children. 20% of Black kids in Marin drop out of school. So these are the things that we want to help fix.
I have to ask, my last question. How did you get this lady involved? Like, how did you get her so, she is emphatic, she's passionate. How did you, well, you might not have roped her in. How did you get her to participate?
It's not a secret that Dana is committed to our children and has always spoken very highly about the ways that we can all become involved in bettering the lives of all of our children. So it was a natural that we would ask, and thankfully she accepted.
Well, good. I'm pleased to see you all here today. I don't see enough of you, so I'm glad that you were here today. And this kicks off, tell me again the date and the website and everything.
It's November 17th at the Marin Civic Center at the Supervisors Chambers. The website is marinkids.org.
And don't forget to friend us on Facebook and also on Twitter.
We're busy. With all the social media, people can get you to so many different outlets, so that's wonderful. So thank you all for joining us here today. For more information, again, you can log on to www.marinkids.org, and you can also stay up to date at facebook.com/Marin